Are you looking to take your photography to the next level? Today we're going to be looking at what it looks like to be story-minded and if it can level up your work. Maybe you clicked on this video thinking that I was going to be talking about some new trick or technique that would instantly improve your photography skills. Though you may grab some new trick, I primarily wanted to talk about the subject of the old adage of communicating a message through images. This may be as simple as making food look better, or as complex as the pain we as humans suffer. Story is the core to what people listen to or not listen to. Whether that's a brand shoot, product photography, lifestyle photos, or a gallery show, you will always have a message to tell. If you're new to this channel, I'm Isaac, and my goal for this channel is to intertwine the topic of faith and creativity for the modern believer, photography being one of them. Many new photographers get caught up in the glitter and the glam and everything that looks sparkly about an image, but don't learn what the core, or don't learn the core of what drives that image to be what it really is. Don't get me wrong, do the sparkle. Capture those sweet light leaks and the soft light that just rolls off the face and get that glitter, but don't forget about story. Rather, let story motivate the glitter and the sparkle. And at the end of the day, it's that photo that makes us feel something that we people remember, that we photographers remember. This style of story first is an art form in itself and can be both pre-produced or done while shooting. The idea is to look for story and let that motivate how you shoot, think, and create. So, if you've seen a product spread, which I'm sure you have, this is a great representation of what storytelling is, as most product shoots always try to connect with their audience in such a way that the customer can imagine themselves in that narrative. The message is communicated in such a way that it connects with the brand's core audience. The story itself doesn't have to be the first thing that you create, or even fully developed. The images that just need to communicate something to your audience and guide your development process as a photographer. If, for example, you were just telling a story about a memory or sitting under a tree in an open field, and it always felt magical during midsummer nights, then when you're scouting your location, you're keeping this in mind. And if you have models, then you're keeping this in mind. If there's a specific wardrobe, you're keeping this in mind. And definitely throughout the editing process, you best bet you're keeping this in mind. You may not share the story with anyone. You may never write down the narrative. No one may never even see the photos. But when you look back at that shoot, the finished product, you should feel that message the photo conveys. If you do feel what you set out to implement, then that, my friend, is storytelling. Kind of, but you get the picture. No pun intended. There is no rule to how you create the story. Although many professionals have rules and processes, but hey, rules are meant to be broken, right? Only when you know them first, which actually brings me to my next point. Be professional. What I mean is be next level, be all in, be professional. You see, professionals put their butt in the seat and get to work, and even when they don't feel like it. If you're stuck at home, create. If you're with a nagging client, create. If you're tired from a long week and have an extra day to get something done, create. Now, I'm not saying overwork yourself, but my point is create even when you don't feel like it. An athlete goes pro when they can deliver consistently over and over again, and their talent is seen. The exact reason why professional people seem a little bit more stiff than noobs, because they've roughed and toughed their character to deliver even when they don't feel like it. Don't get me wrong, some act like a stone, but this is not what I'm saying. Be gentle, be kind, but when it comes to delivery, discipline is a habit that will help you get there. If you're a Christian, Jesus, you already know. Consistently creating allows you to be able to develop the discipline to actually create and be creative on call, which I've talked about in 3 things that'll help you be more creative. It's another video, you can go check it out. But regardless, there's a verse in the Bible that talks about tribulation produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. Now, this verse talks about spiritual hope, which I'd be happy to talk to you more about if you have any questions. but this most certainly applies to any practical situation as well. just to clarify something real quick, if you are already in that situation where you're going pro, on top of your discipline, don't overwork, rest, enjoy the process. But there's a group of upcoming artists that doesn't know what work really is.
Nah, we did that yesterday. I don't want to do that.
Well, then what do you want to do?
Or only works when they feel inspired. Some of you may actually blow up, and everyone's path is going to be different, but most of you will have to put in the work to actually be on the other side of that 80-20 ratio.
You guys are so pathetic. Oh, Xanadu! Oh!
She's one of us now.
So here are a few examples of how to apply story to your niche. If you're a lifestyle photographer, you can capture the essence of the moment through a series of photos in different locations, but with the same outfit, or same location and different outfits or lightings. A linear series is a great tactic to capture a story that takes place over time. If you're a product photographer, document more than just the finished product. Let's say you're with a woodworker. Capture the raw wood to carved wood, the sanding and dust in the air, then assembly, then the staining, and finally the finished product. You know, displaying the piece in all its glory. And if you want to go a step further, shoot the finished product with the macro lens. You know, grab the grit and the abstractness of the wood. Most people may not even appreciate these last photos, but someone who loves wood, you know, the smell of pine in the morning, and, you know, they're certainly gonna appreciate, you know, these finished and final details. You know, as a wedding photographer, when you're a boutique, it's very common to practice, to build a relationship with your couple, to understand their story. So when you're documenting the wedding day, are you tailoring moments and decisions to tell their story with your style? For photojournalism, you know, how cool is it when you get access to the locker room after an epic, you know, championship game, capturing history as it's, you know, in its proper right as story just unfolds? If you want to take your brand photography to the next level, create a mood board, a client style guide. Something that is going to grasp the vision and the goal of the brand and what they want to convey. To be honest, story boosts your creativity and gives you a way to develop a formula to consistently convey a message. Not only this, but it's very common practice for professional use. But it's funny enough because it's one of the oldest and simplest tricks in the book. In short, changing your mindset on how you develop your shoots will dramatically improve your creative ability. Developing discipline to consistently create, especially when you don't feel inspired, will differentiate you from an amateur, which by default, when you create more, the better you become at your art form. Implying story is no small task. And like everything, you're gonna be maturing over time, at least the more you do it. So let this be just a stepping stone on your journey to level up your photography. It's certainly changed the game for many professionals, and I hope it does for you as well. If you have any questions, like always, drop them in the comments below. And if you did find value in this video, I ask that you would just hit that like button. You can subscribe just to stay updated. But that's all I have for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.